Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Art 196, Introduction to Designing Web Graphics for the fall semester 2021. Today, what I want to do is focus on designing a website using the program Mobirise. The version that I have on my computer, I purchased, but it is available to all of you for free if you go to mobirise.com. So if I come up here, let me go ahead and do this just to show you what it looks like. Come on. There we go. I'm opening a browser. And my computer is slowing down. That's not good. So I'm hoping that I'm not using too much. Yeah, it's mobirise.com. So if you haven't downloaded your free version yet, go to mobirise.com. Everything on my side here is a little sluggish, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. There you go. Okay. Well, I don't want that. No. That's not what I want. Select all. I don't want to go to GoDaddy either. Oh, did I misspell it? I don't want Mobirise, Mobirise. So M-O-B-I, Mobirise.com. Oh, come on. I didn't put the little period there. Come on. Yeah, it's Mobirise with an I there. MOBIRISE.com. Website builder. Now, the distinction between Mobirise and Wix is that Wix is an online web builder. Mobirise is different in that you download the program. You can see that you can download for Windows, you can download for Mac, and it's free. Okay. And similar to Mobirise, or similar to Wix, is that there really are no tutorials. So I'm going to walk you through today a basic strategy for yourself to build your own website. And I'll show you what I have for mine. Okay, it's available to all of you to look at. And it's drag and drop. And once you have downloaded the application, you open it, you need to link the website to your email. And then when you're all done and you're ready, you publish it in a folder on your computer. And then we're going to create a second site that should be available to you for free with infinityfree.net, and you'll upload it. Only there will be two things. There'll be an index.html and there'll be an assets folder, and that's it. Those are the only two things that you'll have to upload. Contained within the assets folder, I can show you a little bit later on another day, are all the files that you'll need. It includes, that's where they store your images, that's where they store the CSS, that's where they store, you name it, anything and everything. So that's where you need to go for today to download that if you haven't already. Now, the one that I recently published for myself You can use multiple pages, or what I chose to do for this one is to use a one-page website where I have all the 4 elements that are linked. Okay, where I have anchor tags. And if you go to home or you go to about, you just click and it scrolls down to each of these. So here is my homepage. Welcome to my magnificent, spectacular, virtual. It also includes a little button that scrolls down to the next one if you wish. I also have here, if you click on here, let's see if it will open it up. And it won't yet because you need to publish it. There we go. That's where I put my artist statement, and then I click in here. It's a great way for condensing a lot of text. Here's my biography and why Kmart, how that came to be. Okay, then we go to the next section, and you'll notice that each of these sections is highlighted in kind of a teal blue. And those are the drag and drop features that I'll show you in a minute, how you just literally open it up from the side panel here and drag it over, and then you take their default placeholder images and content and substitute your own. And then at the top, you publish it, and we're done. And that's it. So, and also they have developed this for, as a responsive website, but it really is not as effective as the one that we're doing in Dreamweaver. It really just sort of collapses it and shrinks it down. That's what this is at the top. So this is by default, we're looking at this on a desktop view. If we want to see this on a tablet view, it just shrinks it down a little bit. If we want to see it on a vertical tablet view, again, it just crops it a bit more. And if we want to see it on a mobile view, it shrinks it down even more. Okay, so it's there. It works, but it's not as good as the one that you did in Wix, nor is it, well, Wix only has a desktop view and it has a mobile view. They really don't design the site for the tablet view. So really the best one that you can possibly create would be the one that you design in Dreamweaver. But that takes considerably more work. So it depends on what you want to do. So how you get this set up. Now I have multiple websites that I've already designed in here, but what you need to do is you go over here to the left where you see the little hamburger sign and it says pages, sites, account. This is where you need, once you download Mobirise, where you need to establish and manage your account settings. So I'll click there. Okay, so we have the account, we have the app settings, and we have the password. So if we look at the account, come on. Oh, here it is here. Manage app account settings. If I click here, that's what I want to do. If I click on there, you can see that it has my, and again, my computer is running kind of slow, app settings, account, that it has my, my email address here. Then we can come under the app settings itself, and you can say that you want to, and the tool, top toolbar, do you want to show page and site name? Sure. Show all views? Sure, why not? Show redo? Yeah, why not? So if you want to undo something and redo it, it's fine. If you prefer the dark mode, be my guest. I don't care myself. Full screen canvas, you can do that if you want. So these are all just toggle switches that you have. I pretty much leave everything alone. Under sites, that's the next one that you want to go to, because you will not have created any sites yet. And you can see that I have several versions of the one that you just saw. I have a couple here that I did for my son. And now you can see here where it says create new site. And that's what I want to do today. And that's what I'm going to walk you through. So I click here And I'm going to create a brand new site. And I need to name it. Before I do, though, let's go ahead and search through some of the templates that they have available to us. Those are page templates. Let's look at themes. And I'm just going to pick Mobirise 5 for the time being. And that should be the one that's available to you. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a blank page. And I'm going to click OK. And it's named Site 09/30/1025. And that's based on the day that I created it. And I can always rename that. Okay. And it opens it up. So I'm opening up Mobirise, and the current version should be 5.4.1. Okay. There we go. So here we have, and you can see over to the right, it says start here. If I go back over to the hamburger sign again, and I look at the sites, we can manage our sites. And here, where it says site 9/30/1025, if I want, I can go to the site, edit the style settings. I can clone the site. I can go into site settings from here. So let's try that. So instead of site name, the default one that it gave me, I'm going to go ahead and put in Art 196 Fall 2021. So I know which one this relates to. When you're ready to export the site, you can. This is the favicon that they are giving you. When you're done, you need to get rid of it. And if you want to remove it from your page, or if you do want a favicon on your page, you need to put in your own. Okay. And that can be just about any little file that we can talk about on another day. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And I'm going to come back to close the setting on all the settings. I don't want that. I don't want to close it all. Let's close that. Let's close that. There we go. So here's our brand new blank page that we're looking at from desktop view. So the next thing that we want to do is similar to how we, at least this is how I approach it. And I think it's helpful that we've worked in Dreamweaver, is that I want to approach it from, a top-down fashion. The first thing that I want to place in here will be the navbar. So for to navbar, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the plus over to the right. And if I scroll to the top, you can see that there are 3 different navbars that they have for us. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click this middle one just for the heck of it. And I'm going to click and I'm going to drag over here. And that's where it starts. Now, if I'm done, I can go ahead and I can just say, I can close this or I can continue to build. And if you see the little reduced version of it over here to the left, there's my navbar. The next thing that I want to do is maybe pick my splash page. Let's go ahead and pick this one here, or we could do a full screen intro, new possibilities. There's a whole bunch of them here for your first page, your splash page. And again, these are templates that you have to, depending on, the content of your website, try to pick one that's as close as you can to what you want. So let's try this one here where it says make fun creating, and I'll drag that one over. So that's my splash page. Then let's scroll down a bit, and maybe we want what services do I provide? Okay, so that could be that. Maybe it's something about myself. It says, what's this one down here? Let's take this one. So this might be something about myself, or how about this one? This might be a better one here. Let's take this one. So now we've added another bit of content. I want, let's see, if you want to add an article, you can. I'm going to, for today, I won't do that. But what I do want to do is now here we have gallery and sliders. So you have to decide maybe what kind of gallery you want. Okay. Maybe I wanted a full screen slideshow. Actually, that's what I did with one of my websites. I started that became my splash page. If you want a pop-up slider, we could do that. We could try that one. Here's the default gallery here. We have different galleries. Experiment with all of them. That's the whole point. You have several weeks to work on this. And then the last thing that you should probably add, as we've done before, if you want a map, if you want SoundCloud, if you want social comments, but the last thing, remember, on any page that you will have is you want a footer. So let's go ahead and drag that over. So I'm going to take this one over like so, and there's my footer. Now let's go ahead and close this and see what my page looks like. Pretty straightforward, don't you think? And now what you do is I can click on any one of these, and you'll notice that when I click on the top nav bar, a little pop-up menu appears. I click here if I want to use save to user blocks. I click here if I want to edit the code. I recommend that you leave that alone because it gets kind of complicated. But if not more than kind of complicated, it can get very complicated. However, what we're going to do is we're going to click on block parameters. Now, I also have the option, if I want to move it up or down, I can do that by doing this, drag the block up or down. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to look at the block parameters and see what we have here. I want it to be the full, maybe the full width. I don't want the logo to show unless you have your own logo, then you can substitute it. So I'll turn that off. The brand name, if you want it there or not, see how that disappears. Menu items, I do want those. Do I want icons? I can click that and that appears. So for your social media, you can have that. I'm not going to put those there. If you want buttons, notice that that takes that out and leaves it alone. If you want it to be sticky so that it sticks along the top, I kind of like that. If you want it to be transparent, we can do that so that it actually allows a splash page to be viewed underneath. That I like a lot. If you would rather separate your nav bar from the rest, then turn that off. And we can always make the nav bar, the background color, it doesn't have to be white, it can be any color you want. And that's where this comes in down here. Notice that we have the color. We have it if you want it, if you don't want it transparent, instead of a white background, we can change that. The hamburger color needs to be changed here. That's when it goes all the way down to a mobile view. And then you'll also need to go back, and if I make this a dark color or a color that's where the black is difficult to read, then I need to change the color of the text. So to do that, let's go ahead and let's go back out of that. And I can click here. And there is a color of the text. If I want this to link to something, so let's go ahead and click it first. I'm going to go ahead and click in here and highlight it. And I want it to be my, come on. I want it to be mine. Okay. Oh, come on, come on. So I'm just going to delete it. There we go. And I'll make it KM Art 66. Or I'll make it, no, I'll change it. I'm kind of going on the fly here. Kirk Miller Art. And then I'll put AKA, whoops, no, I don't want that. No, I have 3 L's. Told you I can't type. Come in here. And I'm going to AKA Kmart 66 with a closing brace here. There we go. So I've changed that. Now I can leave about us, or I can make this my home page. So I can make it home. So let's go ahead, and since I want that to be my first one, HOME, let's click the next one and I'll make it my about. And notice that every time I click on it, a little pop-up menu occurs. It lets me know, do I want to link it to something? It can be an external page. It can be an internal page. It can be to an anchor that I specified down below. So let's see how far we get with this today. Instead of services, I'm going to go ahead and say about. So this will be my about section. Contacts, I'm going to make that instead. I'm going to make that my portfolio. And then what I can do with this, I can take this. Let's go back out of here. And I can copy this. So I can add a submenu if I want, or if I click here, I can add a menu item. I want to add a menu item. So I'll click here, and notice how it just duplicated the word portfolio. And none of this is linked to anything. That's similar to what we did in Dreamweaver. So I have portfolio, and now I'm going to say contact us. There we go. So I don't want to link this to anything just yet, but I'm going to go ahead and I basically have my navbar created with no links just yet, but it has kind of the look and the feel that I'm going for. And I think too, I kind of like the transparent look. So I'm going to go with that instead of actually having that visible. But I'm going to go ahead and where it says transparent, we'll click that. So that pops up that menu. Now let's select the next one down. And we have some different images here. Notice that we have this image. I can drop images in here, or I can browse in my computer. And what I recommend is that you kind of check out their images to see the sizes that they're using. I'm going to do a test here. I haven't done this before. I'm going to pick some images from my my desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to they have not been properly sized for this, but I want to see what if it automatically shrinks it. I'll just say welcome here. To Kirk Miller's website. Okay. And if you want a submenu, you can. You can also specify that you want to hide this. You don't have to put anything there if you want. Now to get rid of it, again, when you click on the splash page section of it, I can click on block parameters. You notice that we have the color for the background that we can change. You can also put an image in there if you wish. I'm going to leave the pink for right now. I want the title. If you don't want it, it goes away. If you don't want the text below, that goes away. If you don't want the button, that goes away. I don't want the button, but I do want to leave this. I want to leave the text. You can also change the margins along the top or padding. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so if you want a bit more padding or margins, same along the bottom. There you go. It looks like padding. There we go. And then the image, if you want it larger, you want it smaller, it's entirely up to you. If you want to reverse the order, you can do that. So it's all automated for you. You just have to click and press and you're done. And if you get tired of this template, then create a new website and try a different template. This is the default one that I picked. Now, because I purchased this, I have more choices than you do. But nevertheless, I think it's worth experimenting with to see if you, in fact, like, working with this. It may not be your cup of tea for your personal website. However, a client may come to you and say, you know what, I don't have a whole lot of money to spend, but I would like you, I like your website. I would like you to design mine. So rather than say no and turn it down because they don't have much money, or maybe they don't have any money at all, you can come back to them and say, sure, I'll design it for you. Give me some content. And you can go to Mobirise, and within an afternoon, you can put together their website, publish it, and they might, hopefully they're happy as clams. And if they haven't paid you anything, what have you got to lose? And where you can make up the shortcoming of, or the shortfall of not getting any money up front is maybe you can tell them that, you know what, for a monthly fee of $50 a month or $100 a month or whatever, I will maintain your website for you. And that would maybe where you would make your money. Okie doke. So let me go back in. I'm done with that. Let's go close that. Say, I'm going to go ahead and change this to this website is for my Art 196 class. Period. There you go. So let me go back to here again. Let me go ahead and I'm going to try and substitute my own. So I'm going to pick another image here and see if I can't work with that. So I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm just going to browse on my computer. And chances are it will only accept, let's see. Yeah, well, I have GIFs, ping. It's not accepting the JPEGs because they're too big and it won't accept the Photoshop files. So I do need to go back in and I need to resize those to make them compatible for this website. Okay. So what I can do though, is I can, if I want to browse or I want to, they do have, this is browsing your computer, but here's a free online library that you're welcome to use. Here's some, computer images that are copy, they're not copy protected. Okay. Here's the site library if you already have images on your site. So if I want, maybe I could go ahead and I can pick, I don't want any of those. I'm going to look at the free online library ones. So let's try, let's try an art image for whatever reason. Let's see what they have here. So maybe I want to use this for these pencils here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and there you go. Now we can click in here and it will allow me to edit the link. See if, I want it to be the block on homepage. If I want to link it to a web address, I can do that. If I want to link it to an email, I can do that. If I want to link it to a phone number, I can do that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't have a link. I'm going to go ahead and close it. And I'm going to close this here. And there we go. It's changed it. But notice it changes and it condenses my home page. Now, do I want it that short or not? So maybe I need to pick a different one, but that's fine for right now. Now let's go back in here. And here we have, let's see, I'm going to try and substitute this image with mine. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And I want to, let me close that. That allows me to edit it. I want to browse the computer again. And there was an image of myself I was hoping to use. These are some others that I've used that I could substitute. I don't know why. Those are the JPEGs. Now, why on my desktop I don't see mine, I don't know. I think just because they're too large. No, here we go. Now it's showing up. So let me check. I don't know why, but it wasn't. They weren't showing up before. I was going to use an image of myself here. So here's my selfie picture. I'm going to go ahead and open that. Okay, and I can go ahead, and if I want to edit that from here, I can. I can crop it if I would rather do that, like so. Let's just test it and see. And if I don't like that, I can always come back and substitute it. Okay, and again, it would behoove you to put an alt tag in here. We haven't talked about alt tags yet, but just to let you know that alt tags are used for persons with disabilities, specifically those who have or seeing impaired. And what it will do is, since they cannot see the image, the reader that is reading the page to them will let them know, oh, this is a self-portrait of Kirk. There you go. So there it is. There's my alt tag. Click here and it substitutes. Now I can come back in here and I can change. Now, if you want to change this to a larger title, we have options here. If I want title 1, so it's considerably larger. If I want it title 3, it's smaller. So again, what you're going for, what kind of look are you going for? Substitute your own. And again, I can click in here where it says learn more. If that links to another page, I can do that. If I don't have any more than that, I can click here. And where it has the button, again, I can turn that off. And at any time later on, if I want to turn it back on, I can, and I can link it to something else. So now I'm set to go. You can see while I'm talking to you, I haven't been talking, more than maybe a half an hour. But at most, but it's the whole website is coming together very quickly. Now, again, I'd probably want to substitute this instead of theirs. Notice that it says the link is to Mobirise. No, I don't want it to Mobirise. I want it to my own. I want to edit the link, and I want to select a different image here. So that's what you'll do. Make sure that you go through it all, because they've set it up so that everything links to themselves. And the alt tag also says Mobirise. We don't want that. So that will be the last thing. And again, we can go back in here for the footer, and I can specify, do I want, how much do I want the background to show? Do I want a different color of the background? Do I want an image in the background? Do I want a video in the background? And again, remember that if you change the color, then you need to change the color of the text. So I'm leaving it black for the time being. Otherwise, everything will kind of disappear. If I want the social content or I don't, I can always turn that off. Okay. I can always go back again. We can move things around. If you're not happy with the location, we can move them up or down. I'm going to come back up here and let's pick some images for my gallery here. So I'll click here. I'm going to browse the computer. And I want it to look at my JPEG images. Now, where was that before? I had that before, which is really kind of nice. Desktop. Let's look at, well, let me pick some others that I have here. So here's one here. Let's see if this is the one that I want. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I'm going to select it. And it should load. And it's probably going through the motions of probably reducing it in size. So there we go. So it did. It took a few minutes because it was the wrong size and it reduced it in size. So I'm going to, put alt tag, more obey. And click OK. Now that's changed. Now notice that it's reconfigures to the format of my photographs. You want to make sure that all of your photographs are fundamentally the same proportion or the same size, or your gallery isn't going to look that good. So let's browse again. Let's find a different one. Let's try this one here and see what we get. And again, it's going to reformat it to fit, but I would go back in and fit the ones that you think work best. Probably 1200 by 800 or 1200 by 900 works really well. That's the wrong one. That's the one that I just picked. So I need to go back again. Let's see. Let me try this one. And see what pops up. It's going to take a minute or two to resize it. Yeah, I'll pick that one. Now notice that they were proportioned the same to one another, so it's matching quite nicely now. So now what I need to do is we can finish up the other two. But you can see in very short order, I'm set to go. I'm happy with that. Let me go back again. I'm going to pick another image from here instead. Let's go back. And I want, let's see. I had all of those JPEGs. Let's look inside the gallery real quick. No, that's different website. I'm going to leave it be for right now. So we're good to go. It's good enough for demonstration purposes. You get the idea. But now what you want to do is you can either preview it in the browser, like so. And it's publishing it, but it's not publishing it online, not like it was with Wix. It's opening up in Firefox, so you can see how this works. And you can see that I have a link here to home, but it's not going to the home. Same with the about, portfolio, contact. I have to create those internal links. If I click on the slideshow here, okay, it should open up to a larger one, maybe not. I'm set to go. Now, if I'm content with this, fine. If not, we need to go back to Mobirise and we need to edit it. But when you're ready and you're happy with everything, then you're ready to publish it. Okay, so if I publish this, what I have done is I have created a folder on my desktop. You can put yours wherever you want. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it in a local drive folder. And I'm going to browse for that. And maybe next time we'll work on this a little bit more. So I don't want it in Zoom. I want it in my desktop. I created a folder for my desktop. And it was Art 196. Here we go. This is what I want right here. It was Art 196 Mobirise Fall 2021. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. That's where I want it published, and I publish it there. Now, what you can do, even though it's published, it's not published for the web. I mean, this is local at the moment. It's not published using my GoDaddy account, or it's not published using, which is one that I pay for, and it's not using the free one that I got from Infinity Free. But it shows you what it will look like when it's published. When I'm ready to publish it, then what I need to do is I need to find the folder on my website, and there will be basically two elements. There'll be an index.html and there'll be an assets folder, and that's what I need to upload to Infinity Free. So that's pretty much it for today. What I can do on another day, next week, we'll go ahead and we're going to start working with lesson 8, which involves templates in Dreamweaver. But I can always come back to this and show you how to, in the very end, I will refine this and I'll show you how to publish it. Do you guys have any questions for today? No? Did I leave that other open? Let me see. No, I closed Dreamweaver. Okay. Okie doke, no questions. So, you know, take the time to tinker with the Mobirise. Try different templates, see which works best for you. Don't be afraid to experiment, because I can always come back to this and say, you know what, I want to move the gallery up. So if I come back to Mobirise here, let's say instead of, you know, it being down there, I want it up. I can always select this. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Select, there we go. And this allows me to drag the block. So maybe I want it before I talk about myself. So now I've changed the order of it. I have, it's that simple. Publish it again and upload it. You know, check the, and make sure that everything is working. Make sure that you don't have any typos. If you do, it's easy enough to publish again, then you're set to go. So that's it. That's all I have for today. I hope that's been helpful. One thing that I'll talk about next Tuesday that we touched on today, which with Delvin was having difficulty publishing his lesson 7, and I will kind of I will try to repeat that for everybody so that you can see how I corrected that, how we work together to correct that. Okay, so that's it for today. I will say goodbye. You guys are free to leave, and I will pause my recording. Okay, bye-bye.